didn't test it with your voice.
We did.
For practice.
Seems fine.
Crowd noise is too loud. And you would. Won't hear you about it.
Ready? Test, test. Bellingham United enters this weekend's matchup sitting atop the table with an undefeated 2-0-1 record, boasting an explosive attack that has netted 11 goals while conceding just 4. After a dominant 6-1 win over Skagit Premier and a thrilling 3-3 draw against this very Everett FC, BUFC looks to stay unbeaten and extend their lead. Currently, Everett FC is 4th in the division and eager to build momentum and climb to the standings after a mixed start to the season. The match will take place at historic Frank Goddard Stadium at the home of the Marauders in the Wesco 4A and alma mater to several NFL alumni, with both teams eyeing key positioning behind Salish and Lafrana. The rematch promises high energy and plenty of goals. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Merrick Parnell here on the NORPAC Sports Network to bring you a beautiful night of soccer to play the beautiful game here in the EPL Championship Division between the home-standing Everett FC and the BUFC of Bellingham. Hammers coming into action tonight. As we get introductions underway, we're going to throw it over to the stadium PA announcer. We'll be right back for opening kickoff. It's EPL Championship Division Soccer on the NORPAC Sports Network.
Number 5, Max Bowman. Number 6, Julio Martinez. Number 10, Luis Santiago. Number 12, Zach Peñadu. Number 14, Caleb Villapando. Number 20, Jaden Oguda. 21, Asio Paloma. And 23, Seamus Vermillion. Get your attention, I'm going to play the national anthem. If you could please stand.
And welcome back here inside Frank Goddard Stadium in historic grounds here in South Everett, home to the Mariner High School Marauders in 4A Wesco play. As we get the official referee announcement here, your referees are AR, Jason, Grace, and Amy, along with the center ref, Murad Kaloff. Be the man in charge when the whistle blows, and both teams have been summoned out to the center circle where just about ready for opening kickoff. A cool and cloudy night here in South Everett. A good crowd starting to file in. We're high atop the stadium. The press box actually on the roof here at Goddard, giving us a great sight line. We'll have Charlie Dunlap as our technical director tonight. And we're happy to have all of you along for the ride on NORPAC Sports. It's going to be Luis Santiago that gets things started. So he stands on the ball, and all that's left is the opening whistle. And we are underway. Everett FC dressed in the white tops, blue shorts. They'll go from right to left on your screen. Bellingham in their traditional all blacks with the white trim. Ball played along the midfield and chipped ahead near side, putting a run on it. And there's a whistle for a quick foul. Caleb Villapondo along that near side. Now taking the kick is Seamus Vermeulen. They'll actually send it back. And it's going to be Max Bowman. Ball about the 30-yard line, just inside, as that's sent into the 18 and out of danger. Had the foot, could have been promising. No one got contact inside the penalty area, and it'll be a goal kick. Getting the start in net for Bellingham tonight is Marcus Conlon. He's actually an 8th grader who just finished his last day of 8th grade at Fairhaven Middle School. Here's Vermeulen. Shot blocked. Nicely done. That was Jaden Oguda. Now they'll cycle it back. I'd like to thank Jeff Evans, the SID at Western Washington University, for giving us some helpful information. And Marcus Conlon, one of 2 8th graders on the side. Chase Harrison, another one. He'll be wearing number 3. He's there up top. And so 2 8th graders. That's what's great about the championship division. You have a couple of 8th graders paired with some mid-30-year-olds. Really is hashtag hometown soccer. This will be a quick goal kick sent out of bounds. And battling in the opposite crease on the other end is Gunnar Moorhead for Everett FC. The all-pink kit. As that attack's cut off. Vermeulen challenged hard, hits the deck. Murad Kaloff, your referee in charge. Assisted by Amy and Jason here. We'd like to thank the 3rd team on the field. The EPL First Division as well as the Championship Division does a great job of developing officials. As that's sent back to Moorhead. He'll sky it forward. Ogunda. Ogunda trying to make something happen. And that one just sent wide. They'll want a corner, but they'll get a goal kick instead. And that counter push out of bounds. It will be a BUFC throw. And it's quickly tossed in. Here's Harrison. Chipped over. Be quickly thrown in. And they'll be sent back out. They tried to get it to Mason Rudolph. Yes, same name as the Steelers quarterback in the NFL here. Here's a clear run, chipped in. Moorhead doing well to cut any danger off. It was a late cross and right into the keeper's mitts. Here's another challenge, and that's deflected. We'll have our matches. First corner. He's set up at the corner side along that far end. Both teams will try and jockey for position. Ball's on the way. And cleared off the back post. And now Mason Rudolph getting ahead on it. It'll be a corner kick now from this near side. Sent in. Headed away. Harrison on it. And a foul will be whistled and called against Everett. It will be Bellingham. They'll like to take it quickly out of their own back end. Conlin. Gonzalez will turn and dump. High pressure coming from Everett. Bellingham trying to work it out of their own end. They'll try and do so with Bentoncourt. Out over to Rudolph. Pressured tightly, 50-50 ball. It'll be won back by Rudolph. Over to McCrory. And that's cleared away right down the line, staying in. Conlin will collect. Ball kind of took a friendly roll and spun right along the line. Chipped ahead, Harrison trying to make a run instead. Moorhead there. Moorhead puts a boot into it. Everett trying to get numbers forward. They'll have to do so quickly, and they do. As that was Santiago that had a good look, and ball flies back up. And they'll send it back down. Conlin settling under it and collecting. Score 0-0 here in the opening half. So glad to have you alongside for the broadcast. Beautiful Frank Goddard Stadium, named after a longtime Mariner High School coach. And of course, it's home to the Mariner Marauders. A unique mascot do the Marauders have with a orca whale. As here's Harrison. Moorhead comes out to challenge. Offsides called. And speaking of their football program, they have 5 NFL alumni. Kavari Russell, one of the most well-known players, played for Kansas City and the Cincinnati Bengals, along with Lamont Brightful, spent time with the Baltimore Ravens and the Giants, and also in NFL Europe with the Frankfurt Galaxy. The ball's into the 18. And also played in North America with the CFL's Montreal Alouettes. Of course, CFL just getting underway. Are the neighbors to the north. BC Lions, the closest CFL team. As Bellingham sends that far side. Harrison trying to give chase. The ball just over the touchline. So both teams working to try and establish some kind of flow to the match. As we're in the 10th minute, scoreboard kind of obstructed from our broadcast position up here. Score still 0-0. Be sure to check out our Instagram page and YouTube for some of our pre-match interviews that we had with head coach Ryan Gamache and also Caleb Villalpando ahead of the match tonight. As there's a foul, that will go the other way. Bellingham United 2 coming in at 2-0-1. That's good enough for first in the Championship League. Everett 2-2, good enough for fourth. And it's been a great league that has really developed some players. As we said, 8th graders sharing the pitch with 30-year-olds and above and giving everyone some good development. Everett, of course, many years as their work in youth soccer and have many of their products playing tonight. That's cut off. Here's Ogunda. Jaden Ogunda, far side. They'll send it just wide. Getting a foot on it was Luis Santiago. It's one of the players that Coach Ryan Gamache picked to click tonight, still looking for his first goal of the 25 campaign. As Coach Ryan told us in our pre-match interviews. Sent back down. Here's Harrison. Bellingham will try and work it along the far side. Pretty long dimensions here. They almost go all the way to the track area as Ogunda wins that. Tried to feed it into Santiago. And they'll play back out. Villalpando plays it back. Harrison giving chase. Rudolph almost there for the scoop and score. Vermeulen will try and pressure. As will Post. And Moorhead running in. They had Rudolph there. But the defender did a good job of setting a pick. Screening just enough. Harrison, Rudolph now. Over to Tennant. Tennant trying to work quickly, pressured tightly. Sent into the box and chipped back out. Vermeulen. First time these two clubs did battle, Everett actually took a 2-0 lead, but here's a promising attack, far sideline. Santiago trying to run. Here comes Ogunda. You let her rip just wide. So the match still scoreless. Everett with their second or third really promising march towards net. And back into the technical area, flipped quickly. And it will be Bellingham ball. They'll set it back. Try and get numbers up. So we're in the 15th minute of action. Up forward. Tennant will chip it away. So in their first meeting, Everett took a 2-0 lead and ended up tying 3-3 with BUFC 2. As trying to make a move on the ball is Corona. And now head over the touchline. Be Bellingham throw-in. They'll take their time on it. Via Pondo getting a boot on. Here's Bowman trying to jostle Harrison. And back over near side. Pressure coming tightly. They'll retreat back to Moorhead. Wise move. Bellingham started to press high and aggressively. Harrison. The switch over. Ian McCrory trying to operate. And he's cut off. Everett trying to get over the half line. And they'll do so. Trying to play patiently is Everett FC. Via Pondo. Trying to get it to Bowman. Push off the ball. And Bowman's won it again. A persistent defender. And a lot of his challenges leading to promising offensive rushes. Here's a Gunda just inside the 18. He'll go back out. The Everett technical area wanted a foul on that. They'll check on the injured player down. Looks like it's McCrory that's on the turf. He's up. And they'll get the ball back in from the ball kids. It will be an Everett throw after that. They'll serve it into the 18, and that's cut off. There'll be a handball against Everett FC. Zach Kinyonju, the perpetrator on that one, as that's sent out of play, will be another Everett throw. They like to get their throws from this area right into the 18 and try and cause some damage with it. Seen Everett with a few good shots on that. And they'll be played out almost immediately. So it's going to be a Bellingham throw on the far side. Kinyanju heads it. The flag pops up from the AR. And it will be a foul against Everett. Actually, just a throw in here. My apologies. So the flag pop from the AR on along the far side. Moorhead. Kinyanju. And it will be a throw for B2. Bellingham United's first team will hit the road tomorrow to play against Yakima United at Sozo. In other games in the first division, Vancouver Victory will take on the WE Surf. And Rat City will head up north to take on Skagit Athletic in Cedar-Woolley. I'll also be on that call tomorrow on the Skagit Athletic FC network on YouTube. Hope to have you along for that one. A full weekend of soccer. So that's sent in. Rudolph tried to thread it, mouth a goal instead of good deflection. Ahead of Moorhead. They tried to find Rudolph again. Santiago. Bowman pushed off. Here's Miles Tennant. Rudolph giving chase. They'll drop back to Bentoncourt, and they'll cycle back around McQuarrie. The switch far side. Here's Jude Decker. And Moorhead sliding in for the save. Jude Decker left unabated towards the net. Good goalkeeping, though. We're still 0-0. As we've hit the 22nd minute mark in the opening half with the score 0-0 between Bellingham United 2 and Everett FC. A cool and crisp night, especially for the middle of June. Bellingham, of course, entering the match looking to stay undefeated, and they have a pretty high-powered goal ratio, 11, while allowing just 4. And Everett FC looking to win to keep pace with La Franja and Salish. They've scored 7 goals while allowing 6. Substitution on. Center 18, Harrison got a head on a loose ball. Tennant tried to clean up the garbage, but Moorhead falls on it. Bowman trying to work past a hard challenge. Caleb Villapondo on the deck. And they'll blow the whistle for an injury. Happened behind the play here is a challenge where he got wrapped up with the defender. As that's Caleb Villapondo that will head off. He's clutching his left arm. Coach Ryan Gamache and his assistant coach Josh Green onto the field. So we'll see where the drop ball is awarded. And we'd like to thank all of you for tuning into the NORPAC Sports Network. Feel free to leave a comment where you're listening to on the YouTube stream. And we're so glad you included us in your weekend plans. Some Friday night football from South Everett's Frank Goddard Stadium.
The concession stand is open. Stuff available, hot dogs, chips, top ramen, soda drinks, to include hot cocoa.
As that's dispossessed, Rudolph on the ball. Bellingham trying to get numbers forward. He'll switch to Tennant. Tennant's inside the 18. The low cross to Harrison. Just got a boot on, but right into Moorhead. Moorhead sprawling across the line to make the save. Harrison, the young 8th grader, almost had a promising chance. And back out for an Everett throw.
Number 9.
Into the 18. Looks like that's Tristan Kaditz that's come in for EVCC, or Everett FC, sent just wide. He wears number 9. And he's just a sophomore, so trying to make an impact here in the match. I'm told by our PA announcer that his coach is number 10 on the field, Luis Santiago, so a student and teacher player dynamic here. That's great information. The corner into the 18. Chipped away and finally cleared. Everett trying to settle on top. That's sent back to Kinyanju. Moorhead playing high out of his box. And that will trickle out. Sean Winteroth also into the match, making an appearance. As Agunda is dispossessed. Kaditz on it. Rudolph using his frame to stay on the ball. Very Erlen Holland-esque. As a penalty is called against Everett FC, it will be a Bellingham United free kick. McCory takes it along the ground. Ogunda swooping in. Kaditz plays it out to Ogunda. Trying to push it forward. Bowman making a run now. Ogunda. He'll dump it far side. The cross trying to find back post just too far. And it's out of play. Kaditz BUFC will retreat. Rudolph trying to win. He'll do so, pushing near side, wanting to find Harrison. Kicked back through. Sent low to Tennant. And Kenyanju clears some space. And Moorhead puts a boot in. Bowman trying to sneak in behind. Vermeulen's dispossessed. They'll swing it back out. Decker. Harrison. And flicked on offsides, though. Bellingham thought they had a clear look at the frame. That's number 16 rushing in. Cadets pushes it forward. Here's a nice looking run. And that will be all that's doing is Corona look to put it on frame right into the hands of Conlon. Bellingham will try and work it at mid-pitch. Cadets rushing on, could be promising. That's all it's doing. Loose ball at midfield will be taken back under control by Everett. And cleared all the way down near side. Danger is cleared, at least for now. Julio Martinez getting a foot on. As we are inside the 33rd minute of play. A big match between Bellingham United 2 and Everett FC. Everett FC trying to improve from their 2-2 record. And they'll have to take on the league's top side in Bellingham too. Perfect 2-0-1 record. Ogunda. Cadets will thread it to Ogunda just through the wickets and out. And substitution coming on for Everett FC. As that's Luis Santiago that will check back in. And it looks like we're ready for play along the far end. Harrison trying to thread that in. Tennant there. And Moorhead, another display of some fearless keeping. Nine players on the Everett FC squad are products of their youth system. As that's Kenyanju, Jack Baker, Corona, Post, Winteroth, Cadiz, and David Inn. So a great system. Here's a chance in front. Conlon sprawling. Luis Santiago almost getting a full rip at net. Luis Santiago has spent 6 years coaching for Everett and 3 seasons of semi-pro in the Cascade League as Tennant fires it on. Moorhead there. It's been a keeper's shootout at both ends. And that's played out near side. Substitutions in, a double substitution here, as 2 will come on and return. So fresh legs come on for Coach Ryan Gamache. Ryan Gamache played his college soccer at Northwest University and serves as the Everett High School head coach, and also the former coach of the Snohomish County Steelheads. Play on, says the referee, and it's business as usual. Bellingham will still try and work from the far sideline. McCory on the ball, and he's pushed over. Tabarez will be the perp on that one. Santiago pressuring highly. Ball played right in front of goal. As Baker had a pretty good look on it as it just kind of trickled, daring someone to put a boot on it. Quickly taken Winteroth. Chipped out by Barish. Cat is trying to win. And he'll usher that out of play. 37th minute in the match has surpassed. And it's going to be a throw on the far side. Taken quickly, Winteroth. And that'll be played out. Score still 0-0 between the 2-0-1 Bellingham United 2 and the 2-2 Everett FC club. So far, Everett FC having the majority of chances in front, but there's been some late opportunities. For Bellingham. Of course, Bellingham fielding a first division team as well that will travel to Yakima tomorrow. And they're also members of the Western Indoor Soccer League. A few of the players will cross over and play at that level. Of Of course, the City of Everett, home to Everett City FC and the Whistle that play at the Soccer Center downtown. As there's another substitution for EFC. And a foul will be called against Bellingham. Will be taken quickly. They'll line it up and blast it right in as Bowman. Into the box, chipped away, post there, trying to use his tall frame. Winner off now. Winner off, trying to win, far side, out of bounds, goal kick. Over the touchline. Goal line, rather. 40th minute, so 5 minutes pending any kind of added time here. Chipped ahead, Cadets. Now Santiago. And deflected off his own player and right into the keeper's mitts. Jack Eshelman, Whitworth College product. Whitworth, of course, playing NCAA Division III in the Spokane area. Bellingham now trying to work it out. Winner off. And he'll send that over the goal line. Winner off. Rudolph will take possession. Now McCrory. They'll switch sides of the field. Bellingham trying to make a run. And the EFC doing well to keep its shape as the ball plays off Rudolph and eventually back in the hands of Moorhead. They'll thread to Santiago, trying to turn off the ball. And they'll be out for an EFC throw. They'll try and play it into space. That time, too much space. Winner off. Wanted to try and make a run along that far side. Played just too far ahead. Too much of a stretch. And back to Moorhead. Rolls it to Kinyanju. Barrett. Now back to Conlin. That's intercepted. Could be trouble. And cleared out of danger. Vermeulen puts it on frame. A diving stop by Conlin. Sends it over the crossbar. That one coming at the 43rd minute. And it will be a corner. Seamus Vermeulen almost breaking the scoreless tie. So we're 0-0 still. Ball into the box. Santiago flips it ahead. There's Bowman. And back into the 18, shielded off the line, and it will be a goal kick after all of that. 44th minute here from Frank Goddard. In a beautiful stadium named after longtime head coach Frank Goddard himself, and home to 4 different NFL alum. Of course, the Mariner Marauders, both their high school sides play here in Wesco 4A. One of several schools in Everett. Of course, you have Mariner, Cascade, and Everett High out north. And at one time, Frank Goddard was the home grounds of Trinity Lutheran College in the NAIA. It's a school that was in downtown Everett from around 2008 to 2016 in the old Bon Marché building. Now it's Funco. They featured a men's and women's soccer team that split their home grounds between Frank Goddard and Lincoln Field. There's another chance for Bellingham. And the defense doing well to drop in. And that will be halftime. It's scoreless at 0-0 here on the NORPAC Sports Network between Bellingham United and Everett FC. We'll be back for second half action after a quick break. You're watching Champions Division Soccer from the EPLWA on the NORPAC Sports Network. Back with more after the break.
refreshments, and free stuff to eat.
And welcome back here to Frank Gondard Stadium. It's a 0-0 draw after the first 45 between Bellingham United 2 and Everett FC. A goalkeeping change. It's Josh McBain that will take in between the pipes. In the second half, he'll replace Marcus Conlon, the 8th grader that did well to earn a first half shutout in his last day of 8th grade here. As that's skied into Moorhead's paws. And they'll be sent through again. 9 players on the EFC roster were products of their youth organization. Pretty good development that they've now reached the semi-pro ranks here of the EPLY Champions Division. As we're just underway, not even 10 seconds in to the second half. Thank all of you for tuning in on the NORPAC Sports Network. Sure to check out our Instagram page, norpac.sports, and also norpacsn.com. They'll be sent out wide, deflected by Rudolph and out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. We'll have highlights post-match for you, as well as some post-match interviews with some EFC players and coaches. Here's another look. Chipped in. Harrison headed it on. And the keeper doing well to make the save, and they'll outlet out of bounds. Here's Ogunda. Takes it over the touchline. That was Jude Decker that had a nice look. As there's a foul against EFC. And it will be a free kick along the far side. They'll try and get it into the 18. Low ball and swung on up over Decker. Tried to almost bicycle it. And it will be a foul against Bellingham. Oh, just a goal kick there. Initially, it looked like a foul had been called. Ogunda tried to get to it. Instead, it will be shielded by Eshelman. Play back to Vermeulen. Vermeulen almost broke the scoreless tie right up until halftime. And Marcus Conlon, the starting keeper, doing a fantastic job of clearing that over the crossbar. McCory. And he's tackled by Vermeulen. Play on, says the official. Corona. The dump back. Into the 18. Traffic there. Winteroff, though, collects it after it goes all the way through. Cadets. Vermeulen. Vermeulen sends it in! It's Vermeulen! Over the head of McBain, and it's 1-0 Everett FC. Vermeulen had a shot just like that in the first half. It was punched over the crossbar. He makes good on this one to make it 1-0. That goal coming in the 4th minute. And Everett FC has themselves a 1-0 lead. Bellingham United will try and regroup. McBain, pretty good size in net, but came out just a little bit too far. Tough angle to defend, and Vermeulen hits a 9-iron. And they'll be out of play up by the hurdles on the far side. James Salisbury collects and sends it back in. Salisbury, of course, a Gig Harbor native and a Skagit College assistant, along with the head coach for both Skagit and BUFC's first team, Rich Anderson. And thanks Jeff Evans for some good commentary and points of interest here. Sports information extraordinaire up at Western. We'd like to thank him and everyone else for tuning in. McCrory, he's pushed off the ball. Winter off, flying in with a hard challenge. And McCrory still down. Appears to be shaken up. Appears to be clutching his thigh a bit. He'll walk that off. Headed back down. McCrory. McCrory flies forward, no call. Now it's Bellingham trying to make something happen as they trail 1-0. McCrory switches. Corona. The play ahead to Ogunda. Ogunda has numbers into the box. Cadets. And off the wall. And that's out of play. EFC ball. And pursuing along the near side is Baker. And that's out over the touch. Played in Ogunda, chested back. Becker looking to make a run, tried to get it to Harrison, who is making a run. That's intercepted. And they'll call a foul against Baker. Baker wearing number 2 tonight. Made famous by Deuce. Clint Dempsey spent some time with the Seattle Sounders and a national team fixture. Lots of news swirling around the U.S. men's team. So they try and get ready for World Cup action here on home soil next summer. Of course, the Club World Cup getting underway with Seattle, seeing several of the matches. Sounders against Botafogo tonight. I think that match is actually Sunday. Baker in on net. Baker lets one go over the crossbar. Almost making it 2-0. Fearless is number 2, Jackson Baker. That would have been a beauty at bar down and everything. Have the full order. McBain, the keeper off the bench, being challenged early. Of course, Bellingham only traveling with 12 on their side. So they try and bring a full rested roster to Yakima tomorrow to take on United. As that just trickles through, Tennant almost had a foot on it to equalize. Meanwhile, Rinneroth. And it looks like a card will come out here. It will be shown. Looks like Rinneroth. As both technical areas starting to jaw a little bit on our far side. So that's going to come at the 10th minute as McCrory on the restart. And trickles back post, but out of danger. Ogunda trying to work that free. He'll do so. Vermeulen. Now Caddis. Dispossessed. He'll regain control, and they'll play it back. Ogunda now. Made a nice run, just healed away. We'll go far side. Here's Tennant. Ball still in along the far touch. And switches sides of field to Becker. Becker with the toe poke. And he'll look to goal. And not sharp enough of an angle to be anything threatening. And colliding there with Moorhead. Rudolph and Moorhead shake hands, all good. Fair play, fair play. Both tough competitors. Rudolph. Harrison pursues, and that's booted out of danger. Corona pressuring highly, almost got to that one. Speedy defender. And back down to Rudolph. Pushed off by Post. And the referee looks like he might pull that one back. They'll have a talking to. The ball went out of bounds. They're trying to retrieve it now here in the 14th. And it'll be a free kick for Everett. Sent back down. Baker trying to chase McBain, a way out. And the gamble pays off. Be a throw. Harrison trying to pursue. Fended off. Caddis. Ogunda. Here's another rush. Ogunda, the ball on a string. Looks to step inside. Lets it rip. What a goal, Ogunda. Coast to coast with the finisher. It's 2-0 Everett. The Ronaldo Selly to cap it off along the far corner. And he was the playmaker the head coach Ryan Gamache was talking about in our pregame, and showed just why. Had the ball on a string. And that goal coming in the 15th. Everett FC doing well, cruising in the second half. It was just a matter of time as Bellingham United will try and answer. And Moorhead clears that out. And it will be a throw for Bellingham. Try and get it ahead. And out of bounds, Becker. Doing well to shield the ball. And it's going to be a corner for Bellingham along the near post as they trail with 17 minutes played so far in half number 2 as that one clears the danger. Corona racing on it. He's held up briefly. And into the Bellingham Tech area. Ahead to Rudolph, and that's cleared back. Poked ahead, Rudolph trying to hold his man off, has a few trailers trying to get into the area. Becker. .16 now, low cross, had Harrison. As Everett along the far side, Tennant Dispossesses and go back into the control of Everett, who plays it back to their keeper. Lights are on here at Frank Goddard. A cloudy and cool day here on Everett's south side. That's sent forward. Santiago tries to run up on it. Harrison flicks it ahead for Rudolph. And Post is there to play it back. And that one's sent down over the line and out. It will be a Bellingham throw. Nearing the midway point of the second half. And that's how to play. Ever looking to slow the pace down ever so slightly. Using the clock to their advantage now as they're up 2-0. And the cross to the back post, chipped out. Becker was there just hanging out on the back line. And that's luckily out of danger. Max Bowman was there. And it still remains 2-0. Punched out. Here's a chance put in. It's Bellingham with their first goal off the set piece. So it's 2-1 now after the BUFC 2 goal. As we'll try and confirm the goal scorer was a goal off the corner. As we'll try and check that for you, as there's an injury on the far side. So it was a nicely played set piece. And it looks like it will be Mason Rudolph, the goal scorer, after check out the video replay for BUFC 2. So that's the unofficial result unless we get word otherwise. So 2-1 the score nonetheless. As McBain watches it and is pause. Here's Baker, and he'll clear it out of danger. at least for the time being. Poked away by Vermeulen. Santiago looking to make something happen. Getting numbers forward. Plays it wide to Baker. Baker's challenged. Hits the deck, and it will be a foul against Bellingham. Have a free kick here. As on the ball is Corona. Trying to make something happen. They love to make it 3-1. Give them some breathing room. Their first match, EFC was up 2-0 at one point and then conceded several goals to eventually tie 3-3 as that's played out the back post and out. It would be a massive statement of a win for Everett, sitting in fourth place if they could knock down the top-ranked Bellingham United 2. Of course, 2-0-1 on the table. Still have plenty of soccer left to be played. There's Baker. He'll be pushed off the ball. Caddis. Tried to send it into Agunda. And it's a foul against EFC. They tried to send that into space again. Bowman now on it. The cross. And Becker deflects it. Back to Vermeulen. Play back to Vermeulen, and they'll retreat all the way back to Moorhead. Oguda. That's how we saw him score his last goal. He'll dish it off. Everett will possess from the far side of the 18, played right into the feet of the defender. Santiago's thrown to the floor. He'll trot back into play. And it's a Bellingham throw. Loose ball right through the 18, and they'll have a stoppage for an injury. As EFC will sub here. So substitutions back on, a drop ball for EFC, and they'll play it back. Ball sent to the far side and played out. And we'll see a goalkeeper substitution here. McBain coming out of the game, and they'll bring back in the 8th grader Conlon. Had a shutout in the first half, being called up today. And had a highlight save in the first half. You can see that on our Instagram at norpac.sports. Low cross, headed away. Corona. And it's a foul against Bellingham, so it will be an EFC free kick. Moorhead put so much into it, he ended up on the floor briefly. And that's sent over to the other side. And nice work by assistant coach Josh Green to retrieve that one. Josh Green, several years himself in the Cascade League, and played his high school soccer back in my hometown on Orcas Island. Knew Josh well in high school. We spent some time together with the Arlington Aviators back in Whistle Play, so it's been great to work with him and the EFC club tonight. And has been quite the ambassador for soccer here in Snohomish County.
Because that's your stand, we'll be closing shortly, so if you want to grab something, do it now.
EFC will try and make something happen. Miscommunication, though, between Santiago. And we'll have an argument here and a discussion. And they'll play it back. Actually, they'll send it right to Rudolph. I think the official thought he might have impeded the ball on that and gotten in the way. That's thus the restart. But it drew an instant debate from both sides. Moorhead sliding out the kick save. Rudolph had a look at net. And it will be a corner here for Bellingham. This is how they scored their first. It was Mason Rudolph that got it through. And behind a punching Moorhead. Sent back post. And out of danger. Just a little bit too much mustard in. Goes to the backside. And it's still 2-1. Caddis. Winner off. The cross. Oguda couldn't quite connect. And it's a handball, they'll rule. as it will be a goal kick for EFC. And it's headed into midfield and out. BUFC will take it quickly. Rudolph trying to work around Post. And Post clears that out. Stephen Post, one of 9 players that have come up through the ranks of the Everett Youth Soccer, their youth side of EFC, and have made their debut here this season in the semi-pro ranks. Here's Rudolph. Rudolph trying to hold off defenders and make the turn, ended up just being too much as he was swarmed. As the street racing has begun behind us on the road to the far side. And never a dull day here in the area. Start to hear the turbos and backfires on our crowd mics. And I guess the field is in close proximity to a nearby fire station, and 7 times trucks were sent out. That's quite the array. Hopefully they timed it well enough for a goal with sirens and everything after a score. That would be pretty cool. Up to Rudolph. Becker. Santiago. Up forward to Becker. And it's Post that clears it out. So we're into the 37th minute. Throwing into the 18. Becker just getting a noggin on it, but right back to Moorhead. I'll swing it quickly. Aguda, Caddis, and a foul will be called against Aguda. And it will be a free kick taken by McQuarrie. Puts a foot into it, has distance. Rudolph there, makes contact, still loose, and cleared off the back line. Unbelievable, EFC scooping the goal off the back. It was a goal line clear. And it's still 2-1. And here's another dangerous corner. Harrison tries to blast it through traffic. And almost through again. Moorhead staying poised and collecting. Here's Winteroff trying to shift to Big Mo. And that's out momentum. Still waiting to be grabbed here after that. And that's sent up over the grandstand. So I heard clanking on the roof behind us. Of course, our broadcast booth high above the grandstand, right on the roof. You kind of have to walk up several flights of stairs and then across a catwalk. So they work to retrieve that one. Have to get the ball kids some climbing gear as that's sent through. McCory. Nice move to get more space. He's bodied by Aguda. And Aguda is crashed by Becker. And they'll play it back for an EFC free kick. So we're inside the 40th minute. Bellingham nearly getting 2 goals with tons of traffic inside the 6. Still loose ball. McCory. And a player's down. That's Oguda again. And they'll call for a stoppage. 41-minute mark here in half number 2. Be the 86th minute. Here's Rudolph. And Rudolph fires right into the hands of Moorhead. Cool, calm, collected along the far side. And that skips out of play, a Bellingham throw. As along the far end, Oguda tried to get off the field and goes to ground. He'll hobble off. It's Baker that will try and pursue. Bellingham trying to work desperately to make it 2-2. And doing well to shield the ball, Kinyanjui. Kinyanju, one of the players that had started the career with the youth side of EFC. And another one having a good season at the semi-pro level. Santiago. There'll be a whistle and a foul. Jack Eshelman. McCory steps in, takes it along the ground. And there's a foul, far side Tennant on the grass. They'll try and move the wall back. Looks like it's McCory on the ball to that far end. Corey boots it into the 18, had a chance, and right into the hands of Moorhead. a well-placed set piece, but had some bend on it. It could have been trouble. Winteroth. Now Corona trying to leverage the defender. Corona is taken down. And that's dispossessed. Now Santiago. Caddis. They'll rip it up over the American football uprights. A field goal, but a goal kick. We're inside the 45th minute. Stoppage time will be added here. You saw the horn if we've reached 90 minutes of play. And it's all but inevitable. Or will BUFC come up with some late game theatrics? As we're inside stoppage time. EFC looking to hold off United. Hand them their first loss of the year. It was a game that saw a 3-3 tie in the last time these two teams matched up. Bellingham quickly takes the throw in. Will we see some last match theatrics as it takes off the corner flag? They'll get everyone forward. Conlin comes trotting all the way down from the opposite goal box. And they'll stand the corner flag back up. Dramatic last seconds here. What will be the result? Corner taken, far side. Sent into the 18, back post. Ball still loose, and it's controlled by Everett. They'll send it down. Conlin's caught out of his box. And it will clear over the touchline as Conlin trots back into the goal. He'll take it inside his own 18, and they'll try and get numbers forward again. And that's it at home. Everett FC defeats the top standing BUFC 2-1, courtesy of 2 goals from Vermeulen and Oguda. What a classic of a match. Again, 2-1 your final score. Thank you so much for watching on the NORPAC Sports Network. We're going to head down and get some post-match interviews. And you can check those out on our YouTube channel, as well as norpac.sports. And also check out our website, norpacsn.com. For technical director Charlie Dunlap, I'm Merrick Parnell saying good night from Frank Goddard Stadium. It's a 2-1 Everett FC final.